Okay, look. If you've ever owned a husky, or even just seen one on the internet, you know the vibe. They look like majestic, stoic wolves who are ready to guide you through a blizzard to safety, right? That's the look. But then they open their mouths, and it's just screaming. Just absolute, unadulterated chaos. They are essentially toddlers in very expensive fur coats. But here's the thing, and I need you to stay with me on this because it's actually mind-blowing. Underneath all that drama, underneath the tantrums because you didn't give them the specific piece of cheese they wanted, this dog is a biological machine that breaks the laws of physics. I'm serious. Huskies have superpowers, legit X-Men level mutations that no other dog breed has. And honestly, it kind of makes me jealous, because while I pull a muscle putting on my socks, these guys are doing things that science barely understands. So, let's start with the big one, the endurance. We all know they can run, that's their job, but I don't think we appreciate how they run. If I go for a run, actually, let's be real, if I run for a bus, my body burns glycogen, that's sugar stored in the muscles, and eventually that tank runs empty. I hit the wall, I cramp up, I cry a little bit. It's not pretty. Huskies? They don't do that. See, for the first few hours of running, they burn sugar like the rest of us. But then, something weird happens. They flip a switch, like a literal metabolic switch. Scientists studied sled dogs during the Iditarod, which is a 1,000-mile race, by the way, which is stupid. And they found that after a while, the Husky's metabolism changes completely. They stop burning glycogen and start pulling energy directly from their fat stores into their bloodstream. They become hybrid cars. And they can do this indefinitely. As long as they eat, they don't get tired. They don't fatigue. They can run 100 miles a day for 10 days straight. And their blood work, it looks exactly the same at the finish line as it did at the start. If a human tried to do that, our systems would fail completely. Our organs would shut down. A husky just needs a nap and a snack, and they're ready to go again. It's cheating. It is biological cheating. Then there's the coat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's just a lot of hair. I have it all over my couch. Yeah, it is all over your couch, but it's not just hair. It's an engineering marvel. Huskies have a double coat that acts like a thermos. The undercoat is this dense, crimped wool that traps warm air against the skin. Then the top coat, the guard hairs, are straight and hollow. Hollow, like little microscopic straws. This creates a shield so effective that a husky can sleep in the snow at 60 degrees below zero and not freeze. In fact, they act so well as insulators that if a husky sleeps in a snowbank, the snow under them doesn't even melt. They don't leak body heat. Meanwhile, I shiver if the AC is set to 68. And here's the kicker. That same coat reflects heat in the summer. It works both ways, which is why you should never, ever shave a husky. If you shave them, you actually break their internal AC unit. Plus, they look ridiculous. Don't do it. Okay, let's talk about the eyes. The piercing, blue, I can see into your soul and I judge you eyes. Sure, they're pretty, but they aren't just for Instagram likes. That almond shape, it's not just fashion. It's designed to allow them to squint just enough to keep out ice crystals and protect their retina from the glare of the sun reflecting off the snow. It's built-in sunglasses. And biologically, their eyes are hypersensitive to motion. they can spot a squirrel twitching from a zip code away. But, they'll also stare directly at a wall for 20 minutes because they saw a ghost. So, mixed blessings there. Even their feet are superpowers. If I stepped barefoot on ice, I'd get frostbite in minutes. A husky? Nope. They have this thing called a countercurrent heat exchange in their paws. Basically, the veins carrying cold blood back from the paws run right next to the arteries carrying warm blood from the heart. The warm blood heats up the cold blood before it gets back to the body core. So their body stays hot, but their paws stay just cool enough not to melt the ice they're standing on. They are literally recycling their own body heat. It's efficient, it's brilliant, and it's why they can run on jagged ice for hours and be totally fine. So, they have infinite energy. They are weatherproof. They have night vision. They are super efficient biological machines. Which brings us to the problem. When you take an animal that is designed to run 100 miles a day through the frozen tundra and you put it in a 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs, weird stuff happens. That infinite energy has to go somewhere. Usually it goes into destroying your favorite pair of shoes or digging a hole through your drywall. And that pat communication vocal capability? Yeah, that just means they argue with you when you tell them to get off the sofa. They are the smartest, most capable dogs on the planet who choose to use their powers for evil, or at least for chaos. But we love them anyway. We deal with the shedding, the screaming, and the escape attempts. Because every once in a while, you look at them and you see that ancient wild wolf staring back. And then they sneeze and fall off the bed.